Hey guys, in this video we are going to talk about the problems related to binary trees and tries of CodeRiff Day 2. So let's get started. The first question is unequal ancestor, and the problem description states that you are given a binary tree having n nodes and having root node A. Each node in the tree has either 0 or 1 value. Kth ancestor of a node V is defined as if k is greater than or equal to 1, then k minus 1th ancestor of the parent of node V. And if k equal to 0, then the node V itself. For a given integer b, you have to find the number of ordered pair of nodes x, y such that node x is the bth ancestor of node y and the value of node x and y are not equal to each other. The problem constraints are n can vary from 1 to 10 raised to power 5, b can vary from 0 to 10 raised to power 5, and value of each node is either 0 or 1. Now let us move on to see some example. Now let us talk about the first example. Let's say we are given this tree and we are given this root node right here. Okay, and we are given b as 1. That means if I am currently at this node, then the ancestor of this node, the bth ancestor of this node will be this node. Why? Because the distance from this node to its parent node is 1, right? And let's say b is not 1, let's say b is 2. Then let's say we are currently at this node. Then if we talk about the ancestor, it will be here, because the distance between this node and to the node which is some parent of it is 2. Okay, so that's how we can calculate the ancestors here. Now that we know b equal to 1, for b equal to 1 we need to find all those pairs whose values are different, right? Let's say I am currently at this node. This node doesn't have any parent, so we'll move on to another node. Let's say I am at this node. Then I can see that the bth parent of this node is this node, and both of these values are different, so I'll add 1 to the answer. Similarly, for this node, we can see that bth parent is this node and values are different, so I'll again add 1 to the answer. And for this node, again I can see that bth parent is this node and the values are different, so I'll again add 1 to the answer. So the total answer in this case is 3, right? Now let's move on to the second test case. Let's say this is the root node given to us and we are given b equal to 2. Then for this node, we don't have any bth ancestor, right? Similarly, for this node, again we don't have any bth ancestor. Now from this node, we don't have any bth ancestor because we cannot move into two distances from here, right? Now if I talk about this node, the bth ancestor of this node is 1 to this node, right? But the values of these two nodes are same, so we don't add anything to the answer because we need values to be different. But if I talk about this node and I go to the bth ancestor, the values are different, so I'll add 1 to the answer. Now if I talk about this node, the bth ancestor is this node and the values are different, so again I'll add 1 to the answer. Similarly for this node, the bth ancestor is this node, so again I'll add 1 to the answer because values are different. So the answer in this case will be 3 as well, right? Now let us move on to the solution to this problem. Now let us talk about the solution to this problem. So basically we can keep track of all the nodes at any level. Okay, so first let me mark all the nodes. This is first node, this is second, this is third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. These are the node numbers basically. Now let me assign some levels here. Let's say this is first level, this is second level, this is third level and this is fourth level, right? Now after this, our b is 2. Now let's say we have any node. Let's say I am talking about this node right now, which is at currently level 3. Then I need its parent, which is currently at level 3 minus b, or that is 3 minus 2 equal to first level. So I'll check the node at first level. So in this way I'm going to find the parents of each and every node, right? In order to achieve this, the first thing that I need is an array which will store the nodes at certain levels. Okay, so this is first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. So we can have at max 7 levels because the number of nodes are 7, and we can have a skew tree, right? So in case of a tree which is like a line, we'll have at max 7 levels or n levels, right? So I have created an array here. After this, let's say I'm iterating over this tree. I'm currently here. I'll see that it doesn't have any parents, so I won't check in our level array. Then I'll move to its child. But before moving to its child, I'll just update in this array that at level 1 we have currently a value of 1. Okay, Now for 2, our level is 2, so I need to check 2 minus 2 equal to 0th index, but again 0th index is not available in our array because it is 1 based indexing. So again I'll move on to its child, but before moving on to its child, I'll say that at level 2 currently we have a node which has value 0. Okay, after this I'll check for 4. For 4 again I'll see that the level is 3, so I need to go to 3 minus 2 first level. So I'll see that at first level we have value 1, but our current value is 1, and as we know that we need different values, so we won't add anything to the answer. Okay, now I'll move on to the child of 4, but before moving on to the child of 4, I'll again update that at level 3 right now we have a value 1. Okay, now we are moving to the node number 6, or the node at the 4th level. So for this I need to access 4 minus 2, or that is second node. So we'll see that at second level we have 0 and currently we have 1. Okay, since we have 1 here and we have 0 here, I'll add 1 to the answer because I need different values. Now after this I'll update my level array. I'll say that at 4th level we have a value of 1. After that I'll see that I don't have any childs here, so I'll recurse back. I'll go back. Now before going back I will update my level array. I'll say that I don't have any value at level 4. Okay, now again at level 3 I'll see this node and we don't have any other child apart from this child which we have already visited. So again I'll recurse back, and before recursing back I'll again remove the value from level 3, or we can update it with some negative value, or we can say an invalid value. Okay, now at 0 we can see that we have one more child here, so I'll go here and in this fashion I can continue on. So now let us jump to the pseudocode of this problem. Now let us talk about the pseudocode. So the first thing we can see is we have initialized the level array. So this thing basically act as the array which will store our levels which are already visited, so that we can check all the levels, like what is the value at current level or what is the value at current minus b level. Okay, after that I am starting my DFS, and in my DFS if my current node is null I'll just return, otherwise I'm updating my level array that I'm saying that at this level we have a value node dash value. Okay, after that I am checking is current level minus k is greater than equal to 0. Like in our case, in our example, I have taken 1 based indexing, but in this case if it's greater than 0 then we know that kth parent exists. After that I am checking if the value of kth parent is not equal to our current level, then we can update our answer, right? We can add something to our answer. After that I am recursing to the left child or right child. If those left or right child doesn't exist, we will hit the base case which is node equal to null ptr and we'll return. Okay, and after that I am recursing back, and in order to recurse back I am just updating my level value with some invalid value, or in this case -1. So that's how the code is working. Now let us move on to the second problem. The second problem is prefix with key greater than x. So the problem description is we are given two types of queries and we are given q such queries. So the first type is 1sk. We need to insert a string s with key k, and the second type is 2sk. We need to count the number of strings having s as prefix and key greater than or equal to k. The number of queries can vary from 1 to 5 into 10 raised to power 4, and k can vary from 1 to 10 raised to power 9, and sum of s over all queries is less than equal to 2 into 10 raised to power 5, and s consists of lowercase English alphabets only, right? So these are the problem constraints. Now let us look at some examples. Now let us look at this example. Let's say we are given these three arrays as input: array A, array B and array C. So let's move on from the first element to the last element, and let's try to execute each and every query. So the first query is of type first, and the type first query is we need to insert the string. So now we need to insert ABC with key 5 inside some data structure. Okay, now after that second query is again type 1, so we need to insert BAC with key 1 inside our structure. After that we have query of type 2, and type 2 query have the string associated with it as AB. So we need to search for AB, or all the strings which have prefix AB and whose keys are greater than equal to 4, right? Here we can clearly see that out of these two strings the first string satisfies the conditions, AB is the prefix of this string and our current key is 4 and the key of this string is 5, which is greater than equal to 4. So our answer in this case will be 1. Okay. After that, let's move on to the fourth query. Fourth query is again an insertion query and we have the string ABC. So we need to insert ABC with key 4. Okay. After that, fifth query is of type 2 and the string is AB and key is 4. So we need to search for all the strings which have prefixes AB and key greater than equal to 4. So we can see that out of all these three strings, we have these two strings which satisfy all these conditions. The prefix is AB and the values are or the keys are greater than equal to 4. So that's why the answer for last query will be 2. So we need to return a vector which consists of 1, 2. So that is the answer for this case. Now let us see the solution to this problem. Now the idea behind solution is we'll insert all the strings which we are given inside a try, and for each query we'll just iterate on the try. Since try acts like a prefix tree, so it will be quite easy for us to find all the strings which have a common prefix, right? Now there is another problem. We need to find all the keys which are greater than equal to our current key. So we can do that with some data structure like policy based data structure or a merge sort tree. So we can use that as well. Now I'm going to explain my solution with this example again. So let's say the first query is we are given a string A, B, C. So let's create a try for this string. The first value is A, then the second value is B, and the third value is C, right? So what we'll do, at each point I'll just put all the keys which are associated with this string. So currently the key associated with A, B, C is 5. So at each position in the node, I'll just create a data structure. It can be a policy based data structure or a merge sort tree. The idea is to find the kth elements, and we can do that easily with a policy based data structure or the merge sort tree, right? So we can create them at each and every node. So I just created all these structures and I'll put the data here. So the current key is 5. So I've pushed 5 here. Fine. Then after that the second query is again 1 and the string is BAC. Now if I insert BAC here, it will look something like this. B, A and C. Now again at each position I'll place all the keys associated with this prefix, right? So the key currently associated with them are just 1. So I'll put 1 here. After that I have a query of type 2 and the string is AB and the key is 4. So I need to find all the strings which has prefix AB and key is greater than equal to 4, right? So in this try, I'll go from this node. I'll see that we have a child which is equal to A, then I'll move on to that child, and then I'll see that I have a child which is equal to B, then I'll move on to that child. Now at this position, I'll check my data structure. How many values are greater than equal to 4? So I'll get an answer as 1, right? So that's how I can solve it. After that, the fourth query is, it's again of type 1 and we need to insert ABC, and we can see that A is already inserted, but the key here is 4, right? So I'll just update here 5, 4. I have inserted one more key here because we need all the keys associated with this current prefix. Then I'll move on to B. I'll see that B is also inserted. So I'll just add the key. Then I'll see C. Again C is also inserted. So I'll just add the key, right? After that the fifth query is again of second type and we need to again tell all the values which have a prefix AB and the key is greater than equal to 4. So I'll again start from the root node. I'll go to the first A and then I'll go to B and I'll count all the nodes which are greater than equal to 4. So in this case again I'll get the answer as 2. So I need to return this value. So that's how we can solve it quite efficiently. Now let us look at the pseudocode to this problem. Now in this version of our code, I am using a policy based data structure. You can use merge sort tree as well. So I'll go with the policy based data structure here. Okay. So the first thing, let's start off with the solution function. In the solution function, we are given 3 vectors, the input, and then we are iterating from left to right. We have initialized the try root node here, and if the query is of type 1, I am basically inserting this string into the try, and I am also inserting the key associated with it. Okay, that is CI. After that, if it's not of type 1, the query is of type 2, then I am just doing that DFS kind of thing on our try, and I am trying to get my answer. Okay. So that's the basic solution here. Now let me talk you through all the functions that we are having here. So the first function is insert function, which is given here. This is pretty standard function in terms of tries. We are just basically inserting a string here. But one more thing that I want to elaborate here is, if you look closely at this structure, we are having one more thing here, which is ordered set. Okay, this is policy based data structure at each node. Okay, so I am basically inserting, like we have already discussed, we are creating a data structure at each node. So that data structure is this line. This is a policy based data structure. Okay, so while inserting a string at each node, I am also inserting the key as well. Okay, so I'm basically inserting a key here as well. Now after that, another important function is get answer. So in get answer, again basically I am iterating over our string, the prefix which we are trying to search for. If we can find that prefix, I am basically returning. Otherwise, I am just iterating over to that end node, or basically let's say this is our try A, B and C. Then let's say the prefix is B. Then I am basically going till B. Okay. So at this position, I am at bth node. So at bth node, I am searching for all the values which are greater than equal to our current key. Okay, so that's how this function is working. And then we are returning it as our current answer. And after that, we are just basically returning our vector here. So that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed the content, please like the video and do subscribe. Thank you for watching.